we get to community questions. Okay, so these are curated questions from the community. I'll tackle these, and then we'll see if there's any more questions, and I'll tackle them live. So the first question we have is, are boosters designed to raise funds for liquidity and working capital, as mentioned during last week's download? Absolutely, yes. That's the whole point of the boosters. We need to have capital in order to be able to pay for all the work that has to be done in order to move this blockchain forward. And we also need to be able to pay for liquidity. And we don't have that capital right now. And so boosters will help us get that. What is the current status of the multi-sig wallet integration and the disclosure of invoices and receipts on Discord? Yeah, so we have a community-based multi-sig right now. This is the temporary multi-sig that is there for the remaining capital, which is approximately 200K. The spending levels there are mostly all about salaries. There's really not a whole bunch of invoices and receipts. There's really three categories. There's the people on the team. There is external resources, so contractors basically, and then there's fixed costs around cloud, etc. In terms of whether disclosure of invoices, receipts, etc., that's going to be part of the DAO plan, the governance plan. As I mentioned, it's primarily going to focus on finance. So there, as part of the multi-sig requirements, as part of the treasury requirements, we will have the disclosure requirements. But for this short window of time, September, October, and the runway we have, the disclosure is given to the community multi-stakeholders, and that's all that's going to be there. Do super booster buyers receive the same advantages as OGs, booster buyers, and creatives, particularly in relation to the incentive pool? So yes, there is an incentive pool for super boosters also. That number is not yet finalized, but it's at around 1 million tokens right now. Is the team considering the introduction of an ambassador program to deepen members' understanding of Vitruvio's vision and enable them to promote it among local artists and institutions? Absolutely. We have a community team that's working on this actively as we speak. So that is being developed, and you will hear about it soon. Yeah, these... Just assume that everything that has to be done in order to promote this at large to creators within our community, within other communities, etc., we have to think through those, and we are thinking through those, and we will have those programs. So the answer is yes. What are the primary indicators of success for the protocol? Are factors like the number of onboarded projects, trading volume, price, number of creators and holders critical? Will these metrics be made available through a dashboard? Well, I'll answer B first. It's a protocol, it's a blockchain, so everything is available publicly. And to the extent that we decide as a DAO that we are going to have certain metrics that we are going to measure and publish regularly, of course, we will have a dashboard for that. But that's not a decision I need to make right now. That's a decision the DAO can make later and decide how to pay for it and build it and launch that dashboard. No problems there. In terms of what is the success for the protocol, I think there's multiple success factors that are pointed out here, but really you need to also look at it as short-term and long-term success indicators, right? Those are very different. So for a protocol, if you're looking at it from the lens of a crypto investors, price is it, right? That's your lens, and you're gonna look at that. But I look at it as price as being the result of all our other activities. If we are successful there, the price follows. So you have to go a little deeper and look at what is the activity on the protocol. What are the projects, but not the number of projects. The number of projects is really unimportant. It's the quality of the projects that's important. I would much rather have one massive, well-known consumer brand, for example, that is leveraging the licensing model we have with artists to create personalized goods, than have 10 tiny projects, right? So the quality and size of the projects that we onboard matter. They are significant. So I think for me, it comes down to this. Are we able to execute successfully on our vision of this becoming the creator's blockchain? So in the short term, this means we need to start onboarding as many creators as possible and having them add their assets to the asset consignment registry. It also means we need partners who will create the marketplaces that conform to our model so that they can be purchase activity, they can be commercial activity, meaning people buying artworks, right? If it could also be people licensing artworks. If that's not happening, then that means we are not successful. So we need to watch those, and our marketing needs to focus on those two things. I feel like any reasonable seasoned investor looks at the performance of a protocol. What is the activity? What are the types of people building on it? What are the projects on it, to determine what the price point, if they are willing to pay for something like this, is. If you just have a protocol that is based on bots and market makers, etc., all of that doesn't matter. But we don't have that protocol. We have a protocol that is authentic, that is trustworthy, and that has a huge appeal by way of its innovation for the creators out there. So if we are successful in getting creators and creator related projects on here, everything else, the volume, the price, etc., follows. So as a lead, I'm focused on getting the high quality projects and lots of creators on here. And I obviously care about the price, but I know that the price follows from the activity and is not driven, it's not in a vacuum. Is it possible to consolidate wallets before purchasing boosters? If so, do the corresponding NFTs need to be moved to the same wallet where all the coins were combined? Look, folks, I've had this question come up repeatedly and been trying to figure out a good way to address it. The wallets that we have are anonymous. All right, we have no way to really tell who's who. What we can do is look at it this post Nexus. What capabilities are we going to provide on the Nexus NFT to merge or to transfer? So in the launch plan, you saw that we are working on the Nexus architecture. This aspect is a significant part of that. So the answer to can you consolidate wallets before? The answer is no. But can you consolidate after? The answer is most likely yes. How does that impact your purchasing boosters? Well, remember, the Nexus NFT and your booster NFTs are two entirely separate things. You apply the booster on a Nexus, right? So you could, in theory, know that you're going to combine wallets later, because I'm going to say 90% plus at this point, confidence, we are going to allow that feature. So you can purchase your boosters knowing full well that you'll be able to apply it to a combined booster. So we have to think through all the pros and cons and the gotchas of that. This is why I'm not saying it's 100% done deal. It looks like we'll allow the merging of the values of an NFT. So as we get closer to finalizing the architecture of the Nexus, I'll be able to give you a more certain answer on that. Is there a specified minimum amount from booster sales needed to activate the mainnet? So it's actually backwards. Mainnet gets activated before we have any booster sales. I'm committed to never ever again do anything prior to having a mainnet. So your booster sales are going to be tokens on mainnet itself. So mainnet will be active for boosters. So if you're asking in that question, what is the sales needed in order for us to list on exchanges and DEX, etc., that's a different question. And yeah, so we are working through the final budgets on that. But previously in the strategic plan, I had presented a number of around 3 million, which is a target we need to get to in order to be able to sustain operating capital and liquidity. But boosters will happen on mainnet RC1, period. Who are the target audience for the super boosters? What marketing strategies are being implemented for that audience? Is there direct marketing to select affluent segments? So the target audience for the super boosters are generally crypto investors who would qualify as either angel investors or also just, in a larger, in the Web3 speak, whales. We also would target small institutional investors, the ones that are typically investing in seed round funds or early Series A capital rounds. So, what marketing strategies are being implemented? Well, you saw in the plan that there's a whole segment there devoted to just coming up with that plan and getting into the details of that. So, it's not ready yet. When it's ready, we'll present it to you. Is that direct marketing? Probably there's going to be a direct marketing component to it. But yeah, all those details will be presented once we have that plan finalized, but it's a little early for that.